Hello and welcome to Books of Blood. My name is John, and today I've got another book review for you, and this time it's going to be for In the Hills Above the Gristmill by Calvin Ellis. I actually received this book as a gift from the author, courtesy of Nichi from I Read Past My Bedtime, and I'll leave a link to her channel down in the description. Anyway, let's go ahead and get underway. I'll read the synopsis and then I'll give you my thoughts on it. Paisley Mott struggles with her own particular blend of anxiety and fear that can cause her to go into a hyper-focused state. After the tragic death of her mother, Paisley began to see her anxiety-induced hyper-focus as a strength. She has used this focus to become a paranormal investigator with an up-and-coming web series that she hopes will propel her into becoming an expert in her field. Hollis Grimm is a charismatic preacher from the small Appalachian mining town of Graywater Ridge. When he contacts Paisley to help shine some light on the mysterious mutilation of seven women in the woods outside of town, she is on the first flight out. The locals believe God has sent a creature to punish the town for its sins, and this has captured Paisley's attention more than the preacher or the murders. The preacher, an outsider-turned-sheriff, an heiress and internet celebrity, a man obsessed with the past, an old-timer with an axe to grind, an obsessed fan, and a growing number of bodies stand between Paisley and the truth. After digging into the dark secrets of the town's history and discovering a strange pattern, she must decide what is more dangerous, the monster in the woods or the people who believe in him. If she isn't careful, she will not be leaving Graywater Ridge with the story, let alone her life. So the first thing about this book that I want to talk about is that it's more of a murder mystery than it is a horror novel. In fact, you could actually say that it is a murder mystery in the guise of a creature in the woods horror novel. Okay, and that's not a bad thing. So I don't want to give away too many spoilers. One thing about this is that there is definitely a Sasquatch in this book, only it is not the way that you think there's a Sasquatch. There is one, don't get me wrong, but he is more of a presence throughout this book, or it is more of a presence throughout this book than it is an actual character. And at first, when I was reading it, and after I finished it, I was a little bit disappointed in that, but then I thought, wow, this is really an ingenious way to write a murder mystery and have this creature as like a presence throughout the book. So, originally I was going to give this book like a 4-star rating, but then I thought about it. I thought, wow, that is really, really smart. I really enjoyed the way Calvin Ellis did that with the character or the creature or whatever you want to call it of the Sasquatch, by having him just basically be a presence throughout the entire book. You see glimpses of him. You see, and I'm not going to go into that. I don't want to give you any spoilers. Another thing I liked about the book is I really loved the character of Paisley Mott. Paisley, like it says in the synopsis, she suffers from anxiety, and it literally has, there's one scene in the book where it nearly just shuts her down completely, and she has to struggle through it. And the reason I identify with this is because I've had anxiety attacks of my own, so I know what she's going through. And I've actually had these attacks where it doesn't necessarily shut me down, but it gets real close, and I just get these feelings of inadequacy, like I'm not good enough, like nobody cares, things like that. So I've got to struggle through it. So that's the reason why I really identify with Paisley, and I just absolutely loved her character because she did not let this affect her. And Paisley to me was like a bee just heading right toward like a bee heading toward a flower to get the pollen out. She just had in mind that she was going to do this story, and she did not let anything stand in her way. The people of the town, the people in the town itself, they, as a collective whole, to me, were another character altogether, because they were just quirky and colorful enough to that you just couldn't help but love them. And so, yeah, another thing about it is I love the characters in the town. The character of Hollis Grimm, the preacher, the way I pictured him, and I actually wrote Calvin Ellis and told him this. To me, I actually compared Hollis because in the book he's described as he's not so much muscular like buff, but he's toned, and I guess you would say that his muscle is what we call sinew or whatever it's called, muscle, real tight, real toned muscle. And he's supposed to be very tall and very charismatic. And once you find out more about him in the book, you'll see what I understand, see what I'm saying. But I actually compared Hollis to the character of Jonathan Crane, the Scarecrow, in the Batman comic books. I'm trying not to give away spoilers, but the character of both the character of Hollis and the character of Jonathan Crane, the Scarecrow, they both use fear as a motivator. And yes, the character Hollis is very charismatic. He's one of these preachers that he knows everybody. He greets everybody in town. He knows everything that's going on in town, and that plays a big part in the book. Okay, let me think. Another thing that I liked about it. Gosh, I'm trying to remember here. Yeah, just overall, I just thought it was a neat little murder mystery with a nice little plot twist. Again, like I said, it has some colorful characters to it. I don't know what more to add to this review, so you know what? I'm just going to stop right there and let you know that I give this book a 4.5-star rating, and that I recommend it. If you're looking for a really nice murder mystery and kind of slash creature in the woods style book, then you can't go wrong with In the Hills Above the Gristmill. So that's it. That's my review. 4.5 stars, and thank you. And you guys have a great day. Bye.